Suchomimus tenerensis, better known as the Suchomimus or simply the sucho, is a large semi-aquatic species of spinosaurid which lived in the late Echosong period of the Cretaceous period. This specimen that we follow today is a young mother having only nested once prior. Her chicks are no longer than a foot long at birth, allowing them to hide very well in the bushes and foliage that cover this area. Though difficult to see, this mother's chick is following her very closely to guard against possible herrerasaurs or osteoraptors, which would make a quick meal of the small creature. While she brings her chick to the corpse of a myosaur which had fallen off a cliff only to break its leg and be subdued quite easily by the carnivore, her mate rests near their nest, protecting it while the second egg incubates. He pauses to take a few bites from the body of another myosaur, which made the mistake of taking a drink of water close to these hungry parents' territory. A quick lunge was all it took to grab the hadrosaur's leg and drag it down to the bottom of their pond until it drowned and stopped fighting. Showing a sign of submission to his more aggressive and protective mate, the male crouches low as he approaches her and their eldest chick. Showing a sign of submission to his more aggressive and protective mate, the male crouches low as he approaches her and their eldest chick. They take shifts watching the chick and watching the nest, making sure neither is left alone for long lest they be killed by hungry scavengers. The mother possesses a unique sense of hearing, which allows her to hear her runt chirping inside of its shell, ready to hatch. Lowering her body to the small chick, she forms an instant bond with her second son, knowing she will protect him by any means necessary. Upon returning to her eldest child, her mate seems to wander off. This is actually the last we will see of him. We are unsure where he went, though he may have just been uninterested in staying with such an aggressive mate for longer than was needed for reproduction. Though not unusual, it will cause the small family trouble in the future. The runt finishes off the last of their food and they rest for the night, ready to depart come morning for better territory. Traveling with such small chicks is highly unusual for these spinosaurids, but without any food, this mother needs to risk it. She leaves her chicks hidden in a bush, the elder ready to pounce if a velociraptor or pistachosaurus wanders by. The mother herself searches among the reeds of the swamp in hopes of finding fish or small prey to take down and feed her young. With nothing to show for her troubles, she returns to her chicks, calling out to them as they emerge from the bushes. On their travels, they stumble across a Gallimimus, though the mother is unable to even attempt to catch it, too preoccupied with nudging the runt along. The fastest dinosaur around is too much for this ambush predator to catch on her own. Along the journey, she notices her eldest has lagged behind. Nervous, she rushes back to find him laying down in exhaustion, hidden inside a bush. She nudges him carefully, and he soon returns to the family. They are almost at the next lake, where they will hopefully acquire food. This mother left her chicks to hide in the bushes along the lakeside as she searches far and wide to catch anything for her hungry chicks. Days without much more than scraps of rotting carcasses is not good for their tiny bodies. She risks a Diabloceratops hunt, far from where she left her chicks. They exchange blows, but in the end, she concedes. The body would be too far for her small chicks, and she knows this land is often inhabited by her larger cousin, the fearsome Spinosaurus. She is found later looking through bushes for small game, only to have her eyes caught by something. In the end, she manages to land a fatal blow to one of the baryonyx. Having secured food, she calls out to her chicks to join her. She goes to gather the runt, the elder having already made it on his own. This was a stressful season for the entire family, but they managed it, and the mother soon departs, leaving her chicks all alone to face the world and find their own mates.